certainly, put this idea inside of the son's head that, now you have to, control her because she's not listening to me, and I cannot, ruin my image. I cannot be, seen and labeled as a bitch. So now you will be controlling her on my behalf. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the different ways narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son's life. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So again, narcissistic mothers are those narcissistic women who, choose to become mother because they want permanent source of supply. Yeah. They really want, someone who's just, there for her. Yeah, dedicated, devoted, and madly in love with her, who's there to do anything for her, who's there, to get rid of her pain and suffering, who's there to, fulfill all of her unfulfilled dreams, wants, and desire. Yeah. So narcissistic mothers, basically view their son as, a pseudo husband. They condition and train and brainwash their sons to become a pseudo husband to her. Yeah, because any kind of, emotional need or any needs and wants and requirement that these mothers have, they start, training their son to fulfill all of that. And this is again because of extreme sense of entitlement. Yeah, I mean, I have given birth to my son, so I can expect anything out of my son. I'm going to parentify my son. I'm going to, make him the victim of emotional incest, and I'm going to manipulate him and gaslight him to such an extent that he takes up the role of my rescuer. Yeah, he becomes my confidant, and he, becomes a pseudo husband to me. Yeah, who is ready to do anything and everything. And that makes these narcissistic women feel good. Yeah, I have created something who's madly in love with me. I have created something who's a loyal puppy to me. I have created something who worships me. I have created something who loves me even more than my father and my husband. I have created someone who's ready to fight with the world, yeah, for me. Yeah, so narcissistic mothers have, I would say, extreme hunger and craving for attention, admiration. They want to be, the center of the universe, and all of this, lack of empathy, inability to self-reflect, and all of this, makes these narcissistic women go to any extent, yeah, when it comes to harvesting supplies. Yeah, I mean, the kind of things that should be expected, out of another adult, these narcissistic mothers, train their sons, to give them all of that. In some of the cases, I have seen, narcissistic mothers sexually abusing their son as well. And I don't mean, stepmother. I mean biological mother. So, narcissistic mothers are unhealthy women who shouldn't be allowed to, have a child or get married and, start a family, because they literally ruin their husband, and, they literally damage and ruin their son. Yeah, they don't allow their son to become a healthy, independent individual. They always, manipulate, triangulate things, train their son with silent treatment, to be forever dependent on her. Yeah, the son's identity depends on the mother's validation. Yeah, that's the kind of sinister manipulation, these narcissistic mothers do to their son. And it's all, basically, to have, their sons on hook. They don't want their sons to, outgrow them. They don't want their sons to, have their own, family and become an independent individual. They want their sons to, keep doing things for them, and they want their sons, just for themselves. These narcissistic mothers might stage in front of the others, as a very good mother. They might, even get their sons married. They might even let their sons, decide the career and other things. But secretly, she keeps controlling the son. Yeah, she has her own way of guilt tripping, shaming, controlling, and manipulating the son. Now, coming to the different ways these narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son, the first way is emotional blackmail. So, narcissistic mothers are going to use lots of guilt and emotional manipulation to, control and manipulate their son. And, they will keep on reminding, the sacrifices they have made. And, this is basically to create a sense of obligation in their son, that you are obligated to me and now you have to do things for me. You just cannot, move on, with your life. You have to do things for me because I suffered this and this, I endured this and this. So, narcissistic mothers are big time into, emotional blackmail. Yeah, they use emotional blackmail to control and manipulate their child. They instill, guilt. They keep narrating, all those, fake made up stories where she was, antagonized by the father, by the mother-in-law, where she was, hurt by this uncle, that auntie. She will have, a huge array of stories, and all of the stories are fabricated. They might not be, anywhere close to reality or real incidents. Yeah, it's all fabricated stuff, basically to uh, develop a sense of obligation in their son, yeah, towards their mother. And that's it. So yes, emotional blackmail is one of the ways with the help of which narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son. The other way narcissistic mothers control their son's life is by dependency creation. So narcissistic mothers, will foster dependency by undermining, their son's confidence, making them feel, incapable of making decisions without their mother's input. And as a result of which, before doing anything, the son will, run back and ask the mother. Yeah, because in the past, whenever the son tried doing things, all by himself, or, made any decision, the mother, invalidated, all of those, decisions and all of the things that he did all by himself. Yeah, because the mother was not involved, so she never validated it. She invalidated all of that. She dismissed, and she even guilt tripped and shamed the son. She criticized the son. So as a result of which, the son is now trained to, seek her input before making any decision, before doing anything. He will keep running back to the mother. Yeah, let me not displease her, let me not, make her angry, let me ask her. Yeah, because I can never do things right, I'll mess it up, so let me, take help of mom. So that's how these mothers, they create dependency, where the son is, always dependent on the mother, yeah, for her input, even though her input might be absolutely trash, not worth it. But, it all starts in the childhood, and that's how, the son has been trained, conditioned, and brainwashed into serving the narcissistic mother. So yes, dependency creation is the other way with the help of which narcissistic mothers, control their son's life. The other way narcissistic mothers control their son's life is by isolating the son from the others. She's going to say, well, your daddy is not good, your grandma is not good, your that friend is not good, your sister is not good. She's going to, pit the son against the siblings, other siblings, cousins. So basically, these narcissistic mothers are never going to let the son have healthy relationship or bond with anyone. These narcissistic mothers might also, foul mouth about the daughter-in-law. They are going to say, well, she doesn't respect me, she doesn't do things right, she, doesn't talk properly to me. And, this is the way how, the narcissistic mother is able to, isolate the son from the others. She doesn't allow the son to have a healthy, meaningful relationship with anyone, whether it is the father, whether it is the sibling, cousin, friend, wife, the son's own children. This narcissistic mother is not going to allow, her son to have, any kind of healthy connection or relationship with anyone apart from herself. Yeah, so she is big time into isolating her son from the others, and this helps her have better control over the son. Yeah, she's not going to allow, her son to, have, other sources of validation, love, and affection. She's going to keep poking her nose, she's going to keep, foul mouthing about the others, she's going to keep, speaking ill about the others, she's going to keep on gaslighting the son. Well, your daughter is not listening to you, your daughter is, just walking the path of, her mother, your this friend is very bad, you have got no idea, your father doesn't love you, it's only me, who loves you. So narcissistic mothers have a lot of tricks up their sleeve, yeah, to keep their sons in check and in control. The other way narcissistic mothers control and manipulate their son is by, forcing their son into marriage, for caretaking. So they are going to, manipulate their sons. They are going to, guilt trip their son. I'm growing old, who's going to take care of me? You cannot take care of me the way how, a daughter-in-law would, so why don't you get married? So, this mother is going to, force the son to get married to the girl of her choice, yeah, so that, she can, get an opportunity to play dirty, and she will have, other means of, supply at her disposal. Of course the son is there, I mean he is the pseudo husband, but of course there will be another player on the, playground, yeah, with whom she can play. So narcissistic mothers are, going to pressurize, their son. I mean, you are all the time busy in work, you are busy in this and that, and it's not son's duty to take care of his mother, it's the duty of the daughter-in-law. So, these women, I mean, these narcissistic women are, very manipulative, and they are big time into exploiting and, abusing their son. They really don't care the kind of damage they are doing to their children. Yeah, it's all about, her ego, her wants, needs, and desire, and that's it. So yes, narcissistic mothers are going to, push their son, even though if the son is not ready, or even though if the son is not financially, in a stable position, still they are going to, push their son into, marriage. And this is basically to, tell the son that it is the son's duty to get married and bring in a woman in the house, I mean the daughter-in-law, and that daughter-in-law should be responsible for taking care of my mother's well-being. Yeah, so this is how, damaging narcissistic mothers are. They really don't care if the son is ready, if the son is at all, interested in getting married, or if the son is at all in that financial position to start a family. I mean, they really don't care. They need a servant, and they are going to manipulate their son, yeah, to get married and get another slave, yeah, for her to, play along with. The other way narcissistic mothers control their son's life is by, controlling their son's married life. So narcissistic mothers are going to, keep on poking their nose. They are going to keep on telling the son, well, your wife is not listening to me, your wife is not doing the things, this way, this is how it is since centuries, this is how, daughter-in-law should, behave with mother-in-law, this is how, obedient, the daughter-in-law needs to be. So, the narcissistic mother-in-law is going to do anything and everything possible to ruin, that girl's life, the daughter-in-law's life. Yeah, so narcissistic mothers are going to, certainly, put this idea inside of the son's head that, now you have to, control her, because she's not listening to me, and I cannot, ruin my image, I cannot be, seen and labeled as a bitch. So now you will be controlling her on my behalf, you will be, pressurizing her, you will be, doing everything possible to, make her comply to my needs, wants, requirement, and everything. Yeah, so narcissistic mothers, also, control their son's life by controlling their son's married life. The other way narcissistic mothers control their son's life is, with the help of marriage for financial gain. So narcissistic mothers might, orchestrate marriages, as, a union where, a lot of things are brought into the family. Yeah, they will have their own theory and logic, and I have seen this in my country. Yeah, they orchestrate marriage, primarily, for, dowry, financial benefit. I mean, someone who is going to come into the family and going to, keep pleasing the in-laws. Yeah, someone who is going to help the son procreate. Yeah, someone who's going to carry the son's child, and that's it. That girl is not allowed to be herself. That girl is not allowed to have any kind of me time. That girl is not even, treated with respect and dignity. That girl is basically, brought into the family for financial gain. If she is working, okay, all the more money, is going to be there in the family. If the girl is not working, well, dowry, yeah, get money. So narcissistic, mothers, I mean, some of these narcissistic women who come from a, very poor background, they are very greedy and selfish. Yeah, they are very hungry for money. Yeah, and they don't hesitate in using their son, yeah, for financial gain. Their son might not be earning a lot, and I have seen, these narcissistic mothers literally trading their son, yeah, literally demanding dowry. Well, you have to give this to my son. My son is very good. You have got no idea. Your daughter will be like a queen in the family. All that BS, yeah. So these narcissistic mothers are going to train their son that you need to get married and bring in more money. You need to get married and bring in another slave. And all of it is to serve me. Yeah. I mean, her ulterior motive is to be served, to be taken care of, yeah, to be worshipped. And that's it. So yes, narcissistic mothers are into, using their son, I mean, by getting their son married for financial gain. And then she gets to flaunt, well, my daughter-in-law, brought so and so jewelry. My daughter-in-law, gets this much of salary. My daughter-in-law, brought this much of money in dowry. Yeah, so she gets to flaunt in her, I mean, toxic circle, and that's how she feels good. Yeah, she's admired amongst her, ecosystem, amongst all those dysfunctional nascent narcissists and all those flying monkeys. She's admired and revered. Wow, she got her son married to this girl, and look, this girl brought this much dowry. She brought a car, she brings so much of money, and look, she's always there at her mother-in-law's feet. She respects her, honors her, and she does everything to please her mother-in-law. Yeah, so this becomes a conversation starter in, those, communities and in those toxic circles. So yes, narcissistic mothers are big time into using their son for financial gain. The other way narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son's life is by constantly criticizing and devaluing, the daughter-in-law. So the daughter-in-law is not good enough. Nothing that the daughter-in-law cooks or does is good enough. Well, she doesn't cook that well. You have got no idea. I mean, you remember, right, the way how I cook. She's nowhere close to that. And look, she cannot even keep the house well. She cannot even clean well. She cannot even do the dishes well. She cannot even do this well and that well. And this is basically to gaslight the son into believing and accepting that my wife is worthless piece of shit, and my mother is the only queen out there, and my mother is the one who's perfect in anything and everything, even though the mother is now not doing anything at all. Everything has been shifted onto the daughter-in-law, but still, this is basically to gaslight the son into in a way, you can say, disengage and you can say be less in contact with the wife. Yeah, these narcissistic mothers are going to keep on gaslighting the son, keep on foul mouthing about the daughter-in-law, and this is basically to control the son and to manipulate him into believing and thinking that my mother is better than my wife. Yeah, no matter what my wife does, but my mother is the best in the house. Yeah, so I need to express my loyalty, dedication, and devotion towards her and not towards my wife. Yeah, because my wife can not do things right. Yeah, she's not as good as my mother. You need to understand, sons of narcissistic mothers are emotionally married to their mothers. So it is very difficult. These sons are, mostly the victim of emotional incest. So it's very difficult to have, a healthy relationship with these individuals. Yeah, because in the head, these sons are married to their mother. They will not be able to be a husband to you. Maybe on paper, legally, they might have children with you, and socially they might be, known as your husband, but emotionally, mentally, they are not your husband. They are, the mother-in-law's husband. Yeah, the mother-in-law's second husband. The first husband is the father-in-law, the second husband is the son. And the credit goes to these narcissistic women. That's how they control, manipulate, and damage and scar their son for life. Yeah, they really don't care the kind of problems these sons are going to face once she's not there. They are least concerned and interested about all of that. Yeah, because they lack empathy, and they have inability to self-reflect, so they really don't care. It's all about them. As long as their needs, their wants, desires are being taken care of, to hell with the world. The other way narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son is with micromanagement. So narcissistic mothers are going to poke their nose in anything and everything that the son does, from what books the son reads to the kind of food that the son eats. And this is basically to stay relevant. Yeah, I know more than you. No, you shouldn't read this book. Why are you coming home so late? I mean, there can be something at work, and that's the reason the son had to stay longer at work. But these mothers are going to poke their nose in every area, yeah, of their son's life, from what clothes he wear to the number of children he plans to have with his wife. I mean, when he is going to get up in the morning, what he's going to wear, what he's going to eat, how he needs to think about things with this relative, how he needs to behave and how he needs to react and behave with this relative. Narcissistic mothers are really obsessed with their son, yeah, and they really don't want to lose their son. And they get into this micromanagement. Yeah, they micromanage anything and everything in their son's life, and as a result of which the sons are all the time hooked onto their mother. Yeah, because they know that I might not be able to do this, I might not do it right, let me ask her. Yeah, let me take her suggestion, let me take her feedback. So basically these narcissistic mothers, they handicap their son. Yeah, and by making them handicapped, they are able to stay relevant for longer. Yeah, till the time they are alive, they are able to stay relevant. Yeah, and that's the entire goal and mission, that I am the only one who knows everything, and I am the one whose words make sense to the son. Yeah, otherwise you can just go on saying what you have to say, but in the end he is going to listen to me, in the end he is going to ask me, in the end he is going to come to me for my valuable feedback and suggestion. The other way narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son is with the help of triangulation. So narcissistic mothers are going to use triangulation. They are going to pit family members against each other, and this is basically to maintain control and create an environment where the son genuinely feels and believes that I cannot rely on anyone else apart from my mother. Yeah, she is the only one that I can rely on. Yeah, because she's constantly manipulating the son, she's constantly foul mouthing about the others. Well, your sister was speaking ill about you. Well, your father doesn't love you the way how I do. I care a lot about you. Yeah, so narcissistic mothers, they isolate the son from the others, and this is basically to keep the son forever dependent on her. Yeah. The other way narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son's life is with the help of emotional withholding. So they withhold up so they withhold affection and approval as a form of punishment. Yeah, where their sons do not comply with their wishes. Yeah, and using love as conditional reward for obedience. So every time the son does things his way, he is not going to get all that love, affection, attention. Yeah, and all of it is going to be withheld as a form of punishment. So that's how these narcissistic women train their son. Every time you don't do things my way, I might not be expressing love, affection, I might not be speaking to you, I might not be giving you a lot of attention. And this is basically to train the son into doing things her way. Yeah, because till the time I'm doing things her way, she is going to, reward me with all that conditional love, affection, attention. Yeah. So I mean, emotional withholding is also, one of the ways with the help of which narcissistic mothers manipulate and control their son's life. So yes, these were a couple of, things that narcissistic mothers, take help of when it comes to, controlling their son's life. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.